In this video, we're going to quickly cover how to launch a KUZCO worker using OctaSpace, how to start earning points, and obviously set that up. And it's really straightforward. So let me quickly jump in. So first thing you want to do is actually go to the KUZCO dashboard. And you'll want to go to workers because obviously first thing you need to do is actually create a worker. So let's do that now. So click create worker, and we can give it any name we want. So we'll leave it test for now. And we can select the CLI, and I'll click create worker. Right, once we're on this page, we'll actually want to click on instances and click launch worker. And when you get this, you will get this command here. So now what we need to do is go to the actual OctaSpace marketplace. So I've got it loaded up here. So if you go to marketplace.octa.space, you'll be brought to this page. Once you're on the OctaSpace marketplace, you'll want to first top up your balance. So you'll want to click here to make sure that you have actually enough credits to run. You can either deposit USDT, USDC, or native Octa. Then once you've done that, you'll want to click on the mining category and select KUZCO. And once you've selected KUZCO, you'll be redirected to this page where you can see various hardware options. Now, obviously, we operate on a decentralized marketplace, and all these are nodes provided across the world by various users, and they have different pricings. So you'll want to find a suitable node that matches the criteria for KUZCO. Now, if we go back to the KUZCO documentation, we can actually see the different hardware that they support. And so primarily, it seems to be that a GPU must at least have 16 gigs of VRAM. So that's what we're going to aim for, and 16 gigs of RAM on the node and 30 gigabytes of disk space. Okay, so now we have basically the general concept of what sort of hardware is supported. They do have also a list here, and I'll leave a link down below to this documentation so you can always refer to it if you need to. But if we go back to the OctaSpace marketplace, we want to find a node with 16 gigs of VRAM, and we can easily do that by just moving the slider up. Okay, so now we can see all the various nodes that have 16 gigs of VRAM minimum. And then we can sort by price here as well, so that we can see the cheapest or the most expensive. But ultimately, let's go from cheapest to most expensive. You can also change the price here to USDT, so you can actually see equivalent in US dollars. Now, bear in mind that on top of base price that you see here, some nodes may have a storage cost. This one doesn't, so this is a great candidate. So let's actually choose this one. So this is only 17 cents an hour. So, and we can see it has 27 gigs of RAM, but the disk is 14 gigabytes. So let's choose something a little bit better, because if we go back here, they say 30 gigabytes of disk space. So a good point to note. So let's go with something with a bit more disk space. Actually, we could probably use the filters here. Okay, and we can, that's a little bit too much, but let's go with 40 gigabytes here. Okay, now we see some better options here. Okay, so this is a great node, an interesting one. It has 57 gigabytes of RAM, 187 gigs of space. So let's choose this one, and then we'll click configure. Okay, now it's on the configure screen. We can see here disk space. So let's actually change this to 30 gigabytes. 25 probably will be sufficient anyway, but and then what we want to do is, if we go back to the KUZCO dashboard, we want to copy this text where it starts from -- worker. We want to right click and copy this. And now when we go back to the marketplace, in the start command, you want to right click and paste. And then all we have to do is deploy. Now up here, it will show you your total cost of deployment, which is 0.510 Octa per hour. So we click on this, deploy, and now it's deploying this. And we can see now, okay, service is configured. What it will do here now is we've clicked launch worker here. So it'll actually, over time, this worker will become online. And so what I'll do is I'll stop the video here and resume it from when the worker is online. Okay, so now I've gone back after about 3 minutes. I pressed the refresh list on instances here, and now I can see there's an instance running. and we can see the IP address. It's running fine. So now we can see it's online. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Now bear in mind, pay attention from time to time if there's an issue on KUZCO side. You may have certain issues where you might have to restart the worker, but here we can actually see what's going on. So from time to time check, because if there is an issue, often more than not, it's actually on the KUZCO side. Okta just operates, the software enables you to run it, but we don't know what's going on the machine, because obviously it's a virtual private server. And so everything that's going on is private to you. We have no access to your machine that you're using at that instance and at that moment. But again, if you do struggle, you need help, feel free to reach out to us on Discord and we'd be happy to help you. We'll leave links down below to the OctaSpace marketplace, to the KUZCO website, to the documentation, to both our Discord and Telegram. So feel free to reach out to us.